because of the power outage of towards the end of last year, around third quarter, we've actually seen that President Xi had to talk about energy security being as important as decarbonization, and that has kind of caused a little bit of a hesitation or jitters in the market, that questioning whether or not the overall policy commitment to decarbonization remains very strong. But I think if you look at the reality is that decarbonization is not really something that you can change directions over the course of like months. I think that the scene is set, and what is missing right now is basically technology, supply capacity, and all of these that are actually enabling faster acceleration in the energy transition. But as you mentioned earlier as well, I think a lot of the focus will shift as well increasingly to the S and the G. So it's no longer just about green in China. If you look at the common prosperity theme, last year they've already talked about labor rights amongst temporary and contract workers. And recently they've also made very explicit comments around prevention of human trafficking. In governance, you've also seen mandatory environmental disclosures that came live last month, just a couple of weeks ago. So I think all of these are happening, and it's forcing Chinese companies to react very quickly.
Stephanie, that said, the energy crisis that we are seeing unfolding right now and the price shock, to what degree is that complicating the transition and complicating momentum to ESG?
Correct. So if you look at what we have experienced over the past 6 months already, because of the gas crisis, not only in Europe but also like widely felt around the world, you've had this power demand shock that the fossil fuel supply chain nor the renewable energy supply chain have been able to deal with. And so we've actually seen coal use rebound and carbon emissions rebounded as well last year. I think the reality is that with what is happening right now, our base case is that the same situation will persist at least for the first half, if not for the full year. And what we really need is actually, as I mentioned before, again, we need a consistent technology for medium to long term. But even in the near term, we need a lot of investments and capital to resolve the supply constraints within existing renewable energy supply chains.